Hello, my name's Andrea and I've decided I want to try and read the whole of this book, which you might not be able to, it might be backwards. It says it's the Dalai Lama's book, An Open Heart, and it's practicing compassion in your everyday life, or just in everyday life. And it's some talks I think he gave in New York, and it's in there somewhere. And it's supposed to be a clear introduction to the Buddhist path of enlightenment. Okay, a little bit of background on me is that I'm a reluctant Buddhist, so I had a bad experience, which I won't go into. And I have tried not to be a Buddhist. I've tried to just be a nothing, you know, like no particular spiritual anything. And but I find that I'm constantly drawn back to Buddhism. So there must be something still in it for me. And at the moment, although I try to be a kind person, I'm not particularly convinced that being a good person, a kind person, is the way forward, because it seems to be vulnerability. So I figure that I'm missing something, because I can't believe the whole of the Tibetan people would believe in bodhicitta and compassion. After everything that's been done to them, there must be some strength in it. And I get a lot of it, like I'm not completely ridiculous, I understand love and compassion, but I just lost my spark for this thing. So I've lost my spark for it, but it's haunting me. So what can I do about it? So I can't motivate myself to read anything on my own, to like read anything from beginning to end on my own. So I'm dipping in and out, but that's not always a good idea. You just get selected choice nuggets, which I don't want. I want to do something beginning to the end. And because I was taught from the NKT, I don't believe that Dharma is thorough enough. I don't believe that their scriptures are thorough enough or go deep enough. So I need to go deep, basically, and find out where I've got a misconception. So anyway, I thought I'd start here. It seems like a light start, but I know Buddhism, it won't be a light start. There'll be something in there that just blows my mind. And I apologise for nattering too long about stuff if I get nattering. So my plan is to just do like a few paragraphs and then have a waffle. And then my hope is that people will do the journey with me, and I'm not going to be alone on this journey, and then they can also put any ideas or insights that they get in the questions, because I need people's insights and understandings to move me along the path. So here we go. So this is it. I'm not reading forward, sorry Nicholas. So, An Open Heart. Hello, cat. An introduction. Central Park, New York City, August 15th, 1999. I would imagine that is the teachings. So this is his introduction, Dalai Lama's introduction. Brothers and sisters, good morning. I believe that every human being has an innate desire for happiness and does not want to suffer. Hello. I also believe that the very purpose of life is to experience this happiness. I believe that each of us has the same potential to develop inner peace and thereby achieve happiness and joy. Whether we are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, black or white, from the east or the west, our potential is equal. We are all the same, mentally and emotionally. Though some of us have larger noses and the colour of our skin may differ slightly, physically we are basically the same. The differences are minor. Our mental and emotional similarity is what is important. I'd agree with that. I think we're all like little open wounds walking around getting poked. We share troublesome emotions as well as the positive ones that bring us strength, inner strength and tranquility. I think that is important for us to be aware of our potential and let this inspire our self-confidence. Sometimes we look at the negative side of things and then feel hopeless, and this, I think, is a wrong view. The thing with Buddhism is they're always trying to get rid of all your negative emotions, and if you get the wrong teacher, you're going to feel like, oh, I feel like shit today, and that's me, oh, I'm wrecking everything, and I'm not being a good pure Buddhist. So this is where I've started to have a bit of an issue with this like obsession with positivity. I will try not to talk. I have no miracle to offer you. If someone has a miraculous power, then I shall seek this person's help. Frankly, I am sceptical of those who claim extraordinary powers. However, through training our minds with constant effort, we can change our mental perceptions, our mental attitudes, and this can make a real difference in our lives. I always thought Buddhists were boring. They're just like, oh, let's talk about pain and suffering, removing your delusions. Let's not talk about miracles and awesome shit where people can do stuff. And but I do get it. I suppose it's about being in it for the long haul. If we have a positive mental attitude, then even when we are surrounded by hostility, we shall not lack inner peace. On the other hand, if our mental attitude is more negative, influenced by fear, suspicion, helplessness or self-loathing, then even when surrounded by our best friends in a nice atmosphere and a comfortable surrounding, we shall not be happy. So mental attitude is very important. It makes a real difference to our state of happiness. I do agree with this in theory, but if you've got a positive mental attitude and you're surrounded by a lot of people who hate you and want you out of your home or something like that, then it's not always a good idea to just decide everything's going to be alright, is it? Sometimes you've got to move on. I think that it is wrong to expect that our problems can be solved by money or material benefit. It is unrealistic to believe that something positive can come about merely from something external. Of course, our material situation is important and helpful to us. However, our inner mental attitudes are equally important, if not more so. We must learn to steer away from pursuing a life of luxury, as it is an obstacle to our practice. It's because I think Buddhism is trying to get people on all levels here. Because if you're a kid who's grown up in poverty like my dad, you are in need of some external help and you should pursue it and get it. But just trying to get work 24/7 and get a yacht is really very obstacles to your practice, isn't it? So I do get that. How long am I doing this for? 8 minutes. I've got 2 minutes. It sometimes seems to me that it is the fashion for people to put on too much emphasis on material development and neglect their inner values. We must therefore develop a better balance between material preoccupations and inner spiritual growth. I think it is natural for us to act as social animals. Our good qualities are what I would call true human values. We should work at increasing and sustaining qualities like sharing with one another and caring for one another. We must also respect the rights of others. We thereby recognise that our own future happiness and welfare is dependent on the many other members of society. Wow, coronavirus, right? So without the kindness of people literally willing to give their lives for us, where would we be? And how we're connected across the globe. I mean, the Buddhists have been talking about this for a long time, and lots of other religions, that we're all connected. But this coronavirus is a real eye-opener to me, because I've always thought that we were connected, but it was kind of like in a more, general way. Like, I can't eat bread unless someone gets the wheat in, and I can't use a phone if someone hadn't invented it. But now I'm beginning to see we are connected on profound levels, really, across the globe, across the whole globe. And whereas before it seemed like highfalutin spiritual nonsense, it now seems very sort of everyday matter-of-fact stuff. Because if someone in France has got coronavirus and it spreads and we've got it, we're just human organisms living on the earth. And I know that NASA and the space people, astronauts have always said that, because they look down on us from above, don't they? But I'm not really interested in anyone's just one person's opinion. When it all starts connecting across the board, then I'm interested. But I'll stop there. That was on page 7, and I'll do another one so that this is kept small little bursts.